Hey friends, Jeff here at Mocha,
Ishan?
and Edwin is on the call from Cameroon. This is a big year for us. This is a big month for us, actually. Our project in Cameroon turns 5 years old, and typically we'd be present with you, Edwin, in Cameroon to celebrate this milestone. But for now, this is as good as we can do. Edwin is our country director and spends his full time, managing Mocha Farm and some other projects that we initiate through the community in Cameroon. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the last 5 years and some of the impact that we've seen.
5 years ago when we were down there, I remember the nature of that terrain and how it was. And over this period of 5 years, we have built a very strong farm, very, very strong. I wish you were there now, Nishan, to see what is happening there.
We can't wait to see it, Edwin.
Yes, and the first 2 years were a little difficult, very difficult for us. And I would have abandoned that place. And we always say this, that you don't teach your grandmother how to break eggs. When I got there, I was living by the book. I was following instructions, what I studied in school. And I thought it would work there. The reality on the ground was something else. After 2 years, when I had studied the conditions, studied the soils, the climate and everything, and then known that there were some of those things we were applying which could not work. And in 2017, we planted our trees and we had about 90% success. And up to now, we have a very wonderful farm. We moved from a nursery of 5,000 and now we are going up to 50,000. It means that there is something wonderful that is happening. We are not doing this for fancy. We are responding to the needs of the communities that we are working with. Presently, we have 5 different villages that we are working with. So in short, Jeff, you realize that what we are doing down there does not end only with us. Many people have eyes on us. Many people believe in us, and they know that we are the best people who can help them expand. We are really serving those communities. It is because we are doing it the right way. It is because we are serving those communities the right way, Jeff. So that's the first part of this. I think
it's neat to hear you say that it doesn't end with us, and that the scope of your and our hard work there, is a leadership position to initiate a model that has been adopted now through a community who will forever take that on. And we're a support pillar, but we're not the anchor of it all. And I think that's why there's long-term potential success for what we're doing.
Yeah, it's a true community project. One of the things that you mentioned is that, in 2017, we hit a 90% success rate and it's been growing. And what you hinted at was that the earlier years were much more challenging. We had setbacks, but what allowed us to grow is taking in that knowledge and wisdom from the local community, forming genuine partnerships. These farmers know their land and their community so well. And what we brought was that passion for mutual partnership, this new innovation of cocoa. What they brought is their knowledge of the land, knowledge of the people. And together, we figured out the right alchemy of all that, struggled for the first couple of years. Those early years were really tough, but that is what makes it so special. And that's what bonded. I mean, the fact that, Edwin, you've been living in this community, you came in, you lived with these people. Jeff and I were so lucky to be able to camp down in there. Remember that tent we pitched, chasing away the fire ants, hoping that we wouldn't get blown away in the storm. Living together really makes these partnerships come together. And that's what's allowed Mocha Farm to prosper.
Yeah, thank you, Ishan. It's very true. And if we had failed in 2017 and failed in 2018, I would not be there now. And the success there is not any miracle. It is because we studied the environment, we studied all the conditions, we mastered them, and then we put them into practice. That's why we are able to start succeeding from 2017.
Exactly, yeah.
One of the first things we had to do was really kind of like tame this wild land. And I remember having to first, maybe one of our biggest objectives, which we learned the hard way when the rains came, but was to figure out the irrigation. We became like hydrologists and had to figure out a water management plan to guide the rains that we're blessed with in the rainy season.
our warehouse right there. And what that behind the scenes is that Jeff and I were up to our waists in mud, and Edwin was fearlessly leading us ahead with his machete, cutting a path through. We were trying to figure out what the natural contours of the land were, how the water flows, and luckily we enjoy a good challenge. We enjoy, evading wild bees and making sure that no black mambas are in our path. But you're right.
We've had a couple black mambas hit the path.
Yeah, it's a real adventure. But taming the land has been a big part of creating the farm, and it's about trying to figure out what the natural quality of the land is and how we can work with that to bring this farm forward and take advantage of the natural potential. And it was a lot of work. We learned the hard way, like you were saying, from unexpected floods and figuring out what to plant where. And that's been a big part of the success. The plot that you were mentioning, Edwin, it took us a while to find the right place to plant our trees. And fortunately, we understood that after a couple of years, which is what's allowed those trees to really blossom. And we can't wait to see the farm together with you again and with all of our partner farmers in that area.
Yeah, thank you, Ishan.
Nice seeing you, Edwin. Thanks, Ishan.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.